Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The NFL world has been shaken to its core with the confirmation of a blockbuster trade that no one saw coming, a deal that is bound to change the entire landscape of the league for years to come. MYLES Garrett, the dominant defensive end who has terrorized quarterbacks for Cleveland over the past seasons, is officially a member of the Chicago Bears, a move that has left fans and analysts alike scrambling to make sense of the implications. Rumors have been swirling for weeks, whispers of negotiations behind closed doors and secret meetings that hinted at something monumental. But now it is reality, and the ripple effects are already being felt across social media, sports networks, and locker rooms everywhere. The Bears, a team that has struggled defensively in recent years, suddenly finds itself armed with arguably one of the most feared pass rushers in the entire NFL, a player whose combination of speed, strength, and sheer aggression has made him a nightmare for opposing offenses. In the days leading up to the trade, sources close to both organizations hinted that Cleveland had been exploring multiple offers, each one bigger than the last, until Chicago finally presented a package that was simply too tempting to refuse. The deal itself remains shrouded in mystery, with details still emerging, but the overarching narrative is clear. The Bears are signaling a major shift in strategy, a commitment to building a defensive identity around a player who can fundamentally alter games with a single play. Fans are already speculating on how Garrett will mesh with Chicago's defensive scheme, how head coach Matt Eberflus will deploy him, and whether this move could finally propel the Bears into serious playoff contention after years of uncertainty. Social media exploded within minutes of the announcement, with memes, debates, and heated takes flooding timelines, proving that when a superstar changes teams, the conversation goes beyond X's and O's, entering the cultural zeitgeist of the sport itself, where loyalty, expectation, and hype collide in an almost tangible frenzy that keeps fans on the edge of their seats, eagerly waiting to witness the first game that features Garrett in his new colors, knowing full well that his presence alone demands constant attention from every offensive coordinator across the league, creating matchups that will be dissected endlessly, analyzed for weaknesses, and celebrated when he makes yet another highlight reel sack that cements the Bears' new identity as a defensive powerhouse. The trade has not only rattled fans, but also sparked a wave of speculation about what Cleveland's front office has in mind with this move. The Browns, once considered a defensive juggernaut with Garrett anchoring the line, are now entering uncharted territory, forced to rethink how they will compensate for the loss of arguably the most intimidating presence on their roster. Analysts are already diving into the potential draft picks, player swaps, and salary cap maneuvers that might have been involved, piecing together a narrative from scraps of information, because while the headline is clear, the nuances of the deal are still opaque, leaving room for endless theories and debates. Within the organization, reactions are reportedly mixed, with some players expressing disbelief and others seeing it as a chance to step up and fill the vacuum left by a superstar's departure. Fans in Cleveland are experiencing a roller coaster of emotions, oscillating between frustration, nostalgia for Garrett's electrifying performances, and curiosity about the team's next move, as the front office promises that this trade is part of a broader strategy aimed at long-term competitiveness. Meanwhile, in Chicago, excitement is palpable, almost tangible, as merchandise with Garrett's name began selling out within hours, while social media accounts dedicated to the Bears' defense lit up with projections, highlight compilations, and mock commentary imagining the chaos he will unleash on opposing quarterbacks. Conversations on podcasts, TV shows, and online forums are dominated by discussions of how Garrett's addition might redefine rivalries, particularly against divisional foes like the Packers and Vikings, where his ability to disrupt games could tip the balance in crucial matchups. Coaches from around the league are reportedly revisiting their playbooks, planning new protections and offensive schemes to counter a player whose reputation precedes him, adding another layer to the ripple effect of this trade. At its core, the Garrett to Bears deal is more than a transaction. It's a statement, a signal that Chicago is serious about contention, while Cleveland is willing to take calculated risks to reshape its roster. And in this tension between bold ambition and strategic sacrifice lies the drama that makes sports captivating, creating a narrative that will dominate headlines, social feeds, and living room debates for weeks, if not months, to come. The psychological impact of the trade cannot be overstated, both for players and fans. In Chicago, teammates are reportedly energized by the presence of someone who embodies relentless pressure and an uncompromising approach to the game, while Garrett himself is navigating the emotional roller coaster of leaving a city where he made his mark to join a team with a hunger to redefine its identity. Interviews with insiders suggest that the Bears' locker room is buzzing, with veteran players expressing optimism that Garrett's arrival could elevate not just the defensive line, but the entire team's mentality, instilling a sense of confidence that has often eluded Chicago in recent seasons. Fans are similarly swept up in a wave of anticipation, crafting narratives of how Garrett might single-handedly alter games, imagining every sack, forced fumble, and defensive disruption that could become part of the team's highlight reels and lore. The Browns, by contrast, face an adjustment period, needing to redistribute responsibilities among remaining defenders and possibly rely on younger players to emerge into larger roles, creating both pressure and opportunity. Analysts and commentators are dissecting every angle, from Garrett's statistical impact to his influence on team culture, highlighting how a single player can serve as both a tactical asset and a psychological catalyst, influencing the mindset of opponents as much as that of teammates. The trade also raises questions about long-term strategy, salary cap implications, and future drafts, prompting sports writers to explore potential domino effects, from future trades to draft day decisions that Cleveland may undertake to ensure they remain competitive despite losing an elite talent. Meanwhile, social media continues to amplify the narrative, blending factual reporting with speculation, memes, and passionate debates that blur the line between objective analysis and fan-driven storytelling, making the Garrett trade a cultural phenomenon as much as a sports headline. Beyond the numbers and strategy, the deal symbolizes ambition, risk, and the ever-present unpredictability of professional sports, reminding everyone that in the NFL, a single blockbuster trade can redefine seasons, franchises, and legacies, setting the stage for dramatic showdowns and unforgettable moments on the field. As fans everywhere begin to anticipate the first clash where Myles Garrett dons the Bears' navy and orange, fully aware that each play he makes will be magnified, scrutinized, and celebrated, adding layers of intensity and narrative richness to the unfolding drama of the league. Speculation about the motivations behind the trade has reached fever pitch, with insiders suggesting that financial considerations, team chemistry, and long-term strategy all played crucial roles in the decision-making process. While the public narrative focuses on Garrett's undeniable talent and the immediate impact on Chicago's defense, behind the scenes, executives in Cleveland were reportedly weighing the costs and benefits of retaining a superstar versus accumulating assets for the future, a balancing act familiar to NFL front offices, but always fraught with uncertainty. Fans and commentators alike have speculated endlessly about potential replacements for Garrett, debating which young players or draft picks could fill the void left by his departure and whether Cleveland's defensive identity will shift in response. Some suggest that this trade could signal a broader trend toward rebuilding with youth and flexibility, while others argue that it represents a calculated gamble designed to free up cap space for future acquisitions. Meanwhile, in Chicago, conversations revolve around how the coaching staff will best leverage Garrett's skills, whether through creative blitz packages, specialized formations, or situational deployment designed to maximize his disruptive potential. The trade has already sparked a series of hypothetical matchups, with fans imagining Garrett facing off against every quarterback in the league, projecting sacks, forced fumbles, and game-changing moments that will become part of highlight reels for years to come. Social media, podcasts, and sports networks are flooded with analysis, speculation, and debate, turning the trade into a living story that evolves with each new insight, rumor, or insider revelation. At its core, The Garrett move embodies the tension, drama, and unpredictability that make professional football compelling, demonstrating how a single transaction can reshape franchises, energize fan bases, and ignite conversations that transcend the field itself, blending strategy, emotion, and culture into a narrative that will dominate headlines for months. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The ripple effects of Garrett's trade extend beyond the field, influencing media narratives, merchandising, and fan engagement in profound ways. Bears stores and online shops saw an immediate surge in sales of jerseys and memorabilia, signaling that fans are eager to embrace the new superstar and the promise he represents for the team's future. Analysts point out that the marketing potential of a high-profile acquisition like Garrett cannot be underestimated, as it reinforces the franchise's brand, creates new revenue streams, and generates excitement that transcends traditional sports reporting. Meanwhile, Cleveland's front office faces a dual challenge: managing fan disappointment while positioning the team as still competitive, a narrative that requires careful messaging, strategic acquisitions, and possibly leveraging the assets gained from the trade to signal ambition and stability. Inside both locker rooms, dynamics are shifting, with Chicago's defensive players reportedly energized and inspired by the arrival of a player of Garrett's caliber, while Cleveland's roster is adjusting to the absence of a leader whose presence was felt on and off the field. Media outlets are quick to amplify both the excitement and anxiety surrounding the trade, producing content that ranges from statistical analysis to human interest stories that explore Garrett's journey, personality, and anticipated impact. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds for opinion, fandom, and speculation, where every move, interview, or practice session is dissected for clues about how this trade will unfold in practice. Rumors of additional moves, potential player swaps, and future trades are already circulating, creating a continuous loop of anticipation and discussion that keeps audiences engaged and invested. In essence, the Garrett trade exemplifies the power of a single, well-timed transaction to ripple through every facet of professional football, affecting strategy, media coverage, fan culture, and the broader narrative arc of a league defined by drama, competition, and the unexpected twists that keep millions of fans glued to screens, eagerly awaiting the first game where history begins anew with Myles Garrett in Bears colors. The strategic implications of acquiring Garrett are being dissected by coaches, analysts, and opponents alike, with countless scenarios debated endlessly on sports networks and forums. His presence alters game planning fundamentally, forcing offensive coordinators to reconsider blocking schemes, snap timing, and quarterback decision-making under the pressure of a player whose reputation alone demands constant attention. Some insiders suggest that Chicago's defensive strategy will revolve around Garrett, positioning him as both a disruptor and a leader whose influence could elevate the play of teammates while dictating the pace and style of defensive engagements. Fans eagerly speculate on which opponents will struggle most against a Bears team suddenly equipped with a player capable of changing games single-handedly, while Cleveland supporters ponder the resilience and adaptability required of their team to overcome the loss of an iconic figure. Beyond the tactical realm, the trade ignites passionate debates about player value, front office decisions, and the balance between immediate impact and long-term planning, illustrating how a single transaction can create ripples that extend far beyond the confines of the field. As analysts break down every nuance, from pass rush angles to statistical projections, the narrative surrounding Garrett's move becomes a living entity, constantly evolving with each rumor, interview, and insider tip that surfaces. In this way, the trade exemplifies the intersection of strategy, psychology, and spectacle that defines professional football, demonstrating how the movement of a single superstar can transform a team's trajectory, fan engagement, and even the broader perception of a franchise within the league hierarchy. Discussions online range from mock drafts to hypothetical matchups, ensuring that the story of Garrett in Chicago will dominate headlines, social media conversations, and living room debates for weeks to come. creating a storyline that blends excitement, speculation, and anticipation in a way only professional sports can achieve. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.